All rise for the jury.
We all love a good scary movie, except for her. This doesn't count. This isn't about you. We all love a good scary movie. The kind that makes you jump and then you laugh it off because deep down you know it's not real. But what if it was? What if that blockbuster horror flick you watched with the lights off was actually born from a real life tragedy? Today, we're talking about one of those stories, the kind Hollywood borrowed from, but never truly captured. Welcome back to another episode of Justice 4. We are your host.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sam. Really quick, shameless plug. We have this week.
Yes.
Today.
Tonight.
It's tonight.
It's tonight.
Our live show's tonight.
It's tonight. Today.
Today is our live show.
If you're listening to this in the morning or it's 5 o'clock, go check to see if there's tickets for our live show at Painting with a Twist. It's True Crime and DIY Night. $30 is your ticket, your drink, and your craft. You can upgrade crafts once you're there. We have a great episode coming for you. We have a lot of fun stuff for you guys tonight, and we really hope to see everybody out there.
Yes. Oh my God, some people are getting 2 episodes in one day.
I know.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Please don't forget to wear your merch. We will be taking pictures.
And we would love to take a picture with everybody in merch.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're down. So do your hair, do your face.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tonight.
We're so excited.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it was tonight.
I didn't realize that either before we started. Go ahead, get your tickets. Link was below, and we'll see everybody then.
Yes, definitely. With that, though, if you're not able to come, I'm very sorry.
Hopefully, we'll do another one of these. We've had a lot of people interested in this.
Yeah.
And so we might actually do another one of these one day.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, please go to all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere. Like, follow, share. Please subscribe to us. Leave a comment, review. Please. We love you guys. Please do it.
It helps us out a lot. Helps us grow, which only benefits you.
Correct. But I'm going to move on.
Yeah, I have some things to say.
Say.
Okay, first of all, we don't watch scary movies in the dark.
Yes, I do.
No, we don't. I don't do jump scares, so no. I like psychological thrillers. Saw's my jam. Final Destination. House of a Thousand Corpses. Gang. Outside of that, Signs. I Hate You. The Hand Under the Door is why I don't do jump scares. And Ring. Jared, you know who you are. That was mean. We were in 6th grade. You know who you are.
Jared.
My best friend's older brother. So we're in 6th grade and Ring came out. Of course, these guys, they went and watched it in theaters, right?
Yeah.
And they're all, because they're in high school. So they're getting ready to go out. Me, my best friend, her twin brother. We got a group of us down there, right? Like 6 of us. We had just rented the Ring from Blockbuster. Popped that sucker in and we were 11. We weren't thinking. They timed it. They knew once we were down there with our snacks and our drinks, we weren't moving, we weren't pausing it. These motherfuckers called us on every call. No. I was 11. Between that and Signs, I'm out.
I love scary movies. I love them. I love watching them. I love seeing them in theaters. I'm also that absolute psychopath that can watch a scary movie and go straight to sleep, no problem. You have to have the lights off if we're watching a horror movie.
Nope. My dad came downstairs once. I was watching The Exorcist, and he knew I was watching a scary movie because it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the blinds were open, and the TV was on, and the doors were locked. Nope. Exorcist wasn't even scary.
Jackie.
I can't add my other comment to that.
Please don't.
But I don't do jump scares. I do psychological thrillers and another genre that I don't feel like bringing up with y'all because I don't want to find out who's the therapist.
I love all scary movies. All horror movies.
I'm getting there. You want to give me like a real true life story and give me a 4-hour documentary on it and literally tell me it was real? I'll go sleep like a baby when we're done. Like a baby. But not scary movies.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah.
Before I start the details of this episode, I have a very, very serious question for you.
Am I afraid of the dark?
No.
Oh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We just...
Don't answer that question, Jackie.
Oh, is that a reference I don't get?
Yes. I said that pretty fucking good, though.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know what it's from, but I think I've heard it.
It's from Scream.
Y'all are about to learn something.
Oh my gosh. We're moving on, okay? Today, I am going to tell you about the case that was the inspiration for the extremely popular franchise. One of the most popular franchises in horror movies. Starring the love of my life, Matthew Lillard. He's one of the bad guys, too. Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys the case that inspired the movie franchise Scream.
I forgot Matthew Lillard was in it. I've never seen it. I've never watched Scream. I didn't grow up in a pop culture house. There's a lot that I didn't watch, and then we just skipped over, and that's one of them. I know The Mask. I didn't know that line she said. But it's fine. There's a lot of movies I haven't watched. We're gonna make it.
I'm about to learn you something today. All right? First and foremost, I need y'all to buckle up. You're secure, buddy. You're good.
He's already buckled.
People called him the Gainesville Ripper, but we're going to call him Danny Rolling. So here's the thing. Danny Rolling wasn't just some random monster who came out of nowhere. His story starts in Shreveport, Louisiana. He was born there on May 26, 1954. And from the moment he entered the world, his life was already stacked against him.
I'm done with these motherfuckers born in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in order to be serial killers in the 70s and 80s, you had to be born in the 50s.
Yeah. His dad, James Rolling, was a Shreveport police officer. He was a man who should have been a protector, but inside of his own home, he was anything but that. He was violent, controlling, and cruel. He told Danny's mother, Claudia, that he never wanted kids, and then spent Danny's entire childhood proving it. The abuse was constant, physical, emotional, and relentless. He would constantly tell Danny how he was an accident and would never amount to anything. He was under a microscope, basically.
What a dick.
If he didn't breathe properly, his dad would abuse him. The slightest thing would just set him off. About 14 months after Danny was born, his mother fell pregnant again. Then they welcomed his younger brother, Kevin. He unfortunately was also abused and grew up terrified. Their mother actually tried to leave a few times, but she always came back.
No.
I know.
I had hope for a moment.
I know.
But it was 50s and 60s, and this is very on par, and not that it's okay, it just is it's a repeated story over and over again from this time.
Just like a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
This kind of environment doesn't just disappear. It leaves scars that never heal. Danny spent most of his childhood trying to escape any way he could. He taught himself how to play guitar. He sketched. He sang. But the darkness inside him just kept growing. He would start leaving the house and hanging out in the woods. Anything to get away from his actual reality. He ended up starting hurting animals, spying on women through their windows, and acting out. Teachers described him as quiet, withdrawn. As quiet and withdrawn, but there was something off about him.
Okay, so definitely everyone's getting the creepy, weird vibe out of him from an earlier age.
Correct. He would stare into families' windows and basically just start building this resentment towards these happy families. Why can't I have that kind of situation, you know?
Yeah.
As soon as he was a teenager, things started to change a little bit. He was still sneaking out and looking into people's windows, but now it's sexually motivated.
Oh.
He would stand outside girls' windows to watch them undress. And he was actually caught many times doing this.
Little peeping Tom.
He started to get a reputation around town that he was a peeping Tom.
Little peeping Tom.
Little peeping Tom. When he turned 16, he was drinking very heavily. One night, he came home drunk off of his ass and ended up getting into a physical fight with his father. And because of this fight, he got put into juvie for 2 weeks. Once he got out of juvie, he wanted to get out from under his father's thumb. So he dropped out of school and actually joined the Air Force.
I really enjoy that his dad's the abusive one, but yet he went to juvie for a fight with his dad.
He's a police officer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that little piece. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Mm-hmm. So again, he dropped out of school and he joined the Air Force. Maybe he was searching for structure or purpose, and he actually thrived while he was in the Air Force.
I mean, generally, any type of serial killer or things like that, they do thrive in the military environment. We've seen it in quite a few cases.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it didn't last. His drinking got so out of hand, and it actually evolved into substance abuse. He ended up being discharged for drug use after less than a year of service.
Oh.
After that, he ended up moving back to Shreveport. His life felt like it was spiraling, and he couldn't keep a job, so he was looking for an escape. He then found himself at the United Pentecostal Church. That is where he met a lovely young woman. Omather Halko was her name.
Okay.
People said they saw each other and it was love at first sight in the church.
Okay. This is a very interesting, twisty path for him to go down, but okay.
Yeah. They were married when Danny was 20 in 1974, and a year later, they welcomed a baby daughter. Unfortunately, he still couldn't keep a job. He did work odd labor gigs, and he was still drinking like a fish. But at least this time, he was hyper-religious.
Okay.
I'm not saying that is
Good nor bad,
good
but
excuse for any reason. I just am pointing
we just
it
now
out.
have a hyper-religious take on it as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a new factor to him.
Mm-hmm. After 3 years of marriage, Omather filed for divorce. Around this time, Danny was actually working in a local bakery, and there was an accident with a bread slicing machine, and he lost part of one of his fingers on his left hand. Everything was just going wrong for Danny at this time, and this caused Danny to feel so rejected and completely out of control. So he ended up stealing one of his father's guns and started a series of armed robberies across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
My wife divorced me, so I'm going to go
And
on an
I
armed
lost a
robbery
finger.
spree.
Don't forget about him losing a
I mean,
finger,
it wasn't his
too.
trigger finger, so...
It was his left hand, too. He was a righty.
Oh, I thought you said it was like his pinky.
No, it was just a finger.
Just a finger?
I don't know
Oh.
exactly which
You
finger
went
it
like,
was.
I think it's because you went like this.
I touched my... Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was drifting from town to town. Danny was basically living in the woods, completely untethered from society.
That's not a great start to this.
I couldn't find an exact time for date for this, so around 1980 to 1981, he was actually arrested and found himself behind bars.
Okay.
For all the robberies. Then, in 1989, he was released and went back to living with his parents. So I'm sure you can't imagine how his father was treating him at this time.
Oh, yeah, because his dad's a cop and now he's a convicted felon. So...
Yep. So again, the constant putting him down, telling him he won't amount to anything. Father of the year.
I know that they don't give parents a guidebook.
Yeah.
A manual, if you will, when you have a child. And it'd be really helpful if they came with one. But I kind of feel like they should give us a manual on
What not to do?
Not to do
Yeah.
to turn your kids into psychopaths.
Yeah.
Because while you can't put all the blame on parents, I feel like there is a certain level of things that these parents do.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you guys, but like the majority of serial killers, it all stemmed, not all, but the majority of it started because of abuse and neglect from parents.
Yeah. So,
And I'm not talking a spank here and there. I'm talking full on abuse.
like we've been talking about. Yeah. Like neglectful, all of it.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
Let's move on.
Just thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So his dad's a piece of shit. Is
Yes,
basically what I'm
precisely.
trying to say. But he did end up finding work at a restaurant in town, which is really cool.
Was he a dishwasher?
I actually don't know. I'm going to assume
Line
so.
cook. He's giving line
He's
cook
in the back
energy.
somewhere. Dishwasher or line cook. I have no doubt in my mind. But on November 4th, he was fired for missing a shift. He claimed his boss changed the schedule without telling him and that he was being set up. At this point, he had so much resentment and anger building up inside of him that he reverted back to an old habit. Not that he really stopped doing it, but for some reason, this night was just a lot different. He was stalking a young woman named Julie Grisham. She was 24 and worked at a department store. There were reports he was actually completely obsessed with Julie and was just like infatuated with her. So he was stalking her for a while.
Okay.
But on this specific night, he decided he wanted her. He needed her. So he ended up following her home. He stood outside the home and watched Julie, her father Tom, and Julie's 8-year-old nephew Sean. He was armed with a knife and he went to the back door and tried the handle. It was unlocked. So he let himself in, sparking a violent attack on Julie and her family. He attacked Tom, Sean, as well as Julie with the knife, stabbing them multiple times. He then sexually assaulted Julie. Sean was stabbed with such force that it went all the way through him and stuck into the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
After he was done, he ended up stripping Julie naked and put her dirty clothes into a washing machine. That is when he posed her lifeless body very provocatively and fled the scene. The bodies were not discovered for 2 days. This gruesome attack and murder left the town in shock, but there weren't enough leads, and the case ended up going cold.
Because what year are we in?
70, oh my gosh, no, 80s.
80.
We're in the 80s now.
Yeah, because we were at 89.
89. We were in 89.
Washing the clothes helps with DNA.
Yeah.
Because right now we just have, touch DNA really isn't a thing yet. It is, but we're not collecting it.
I don't have an exact date for on when this part happened. Actually, you know what? I just might. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I do. It was 1989. It was November of 1989.
You're good.
Genius. Danny was feeling good about himself. He found a newfound confidence that made him feel in control and powerful. He finally succeeded at something in his life. 6 months later.
Sure, that's one way to look at that.
Yeah. 6 months later, he ended up having another altercation with his father. But this time, he ended up shooting his dad in the face with a gun, his own gun.
Did his dad die?
He survived, but he lost an eye.
Well, if he wasn't mad at him before, he's mad now.
May 1990, 36-year-old Danny left Shreveport for the last time and headed to Gainesville, Florida.
I'm not looking at you on purpose.
Yeah. He was living off of the grid in a makeshift camp in the woods. Over the next few months, he was making plans that no one could fathom. This is going to hit you, I hope.
Okay.
It hits you like it hit me, okay? He ended up buying a K-bar knife at the Army-Navy store and a few other items, and then waited.
My eyes haven't done this in a really long time, but they kind of got stuck from being rolled so hard.
I know. I know you guys don't understand yet. You will. We'll talk about it soon. She just saw pictures already, so she knows what's coming.
And I remember you complaining when researching this episode. We just hate his face.
I hate him. In the late hours of August 23rd of 1990, the start of a new semester at the University of Florida was starting. The city was alive, students moving in, laughter spilling out of the dorm rooms, parents saying their emotional goodbyes. A college town full of excitement and possibility. Sonja Larson and Christina Powell. Sonja was 18 and Christy was 17. Two roommates who had just arrived for their freshman year. Sonja was kind and thoughtful, a choir singer, studying to become a teacher. Christy was outgoing and funny, majoring in architecture. Danny was watching them through their window while they were washing dishes together and giggling and having a good time.
Because you're in college, and this is what you do.
They were out on their own and in an apartment together getting ready for college. As the girls were getting ready for bed, they locked their doors, and said their goodnights. Sonja went up to her bed and fell asleep. Christy stayed in the living room, but ultimately ended up falling asleep on the couch. A masked Danny, using a screwdriver, was able to break in through the sliding door. He saw Christy on the couch, but he left her there to go find Sonja. He attacked her while she was asleep, put duct tape over her mouth, then proceeded to stab her repeatedly until she was dead.
You're fucking lying.
I'm not. It's gonna make you more. I'm gonna make you more mad.
Okay. Because were they the only two who lived? Was it just like two of them in an apartment?
It's just those two.
Just two? Like an off-campus apartment? Okay.
He then made his way downstairs back to Christy. He duct taped her mouth and then duct taped her hands behind her back. He cut off her clothes, then held a knife to her throat as he raped her. Once he was done, he rolled her face down and stabbed her 5 times in the back. Just like he did with Julie, he took off their clothes, washed them, and then posed their bodies.
What is with the washing of the clothes?
I don't know. That part I cannot tell you.
Like, we never figure that part out. He just...
No.
That's got to be something about his dad.
Probably.
That's got to be something about his dad.
Well, the thing is, though, Richard Chase cleaned all of the knives. We don't know why that happened.
Yeah. That's
don't
really
know.
interesting, cleaning just certain things when everything else is...
Yeah.
Okay.
The next night, he struck again.
The next night?
The very next night.
Sir, didn't you read the serial killer handbook? You're supposed to have a cool down period.
Yeah.
You're not very good at this.
The next night, he struck again. Christa Hoyt, just 18, was living alone while studying at Santa Fe College. She was independent, hardworking, and dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Wait, where's Santa Fe College? Is that also in Florida?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I was like, Santa Fe, New Mexico? We traveled real quick.
No, it is a community college in Gainesville.
Okay.
Christa was actually an overnight clerk at the local sheriff's office and happened to be working the night that he broke in. Danny broke into her home, using a screwdriver on her sliding glass door and noticed she wasn't home. So he waited for her. Christa came home at about 11 a.m. the next morning, and he was there.
That's a long time to wait. 11 a.m.?
11 a.m. So she usually started work at midnight.
Oh my gosh.
So it was very late hours that he broke in. He puts her into a chokehold, rendering her unconscious, tapes her wrists and arms behind her, and actually used tape to gag her as well. And then he cut off all of her clothes. He then proceeded to rape her, and then he stabbed her in the back. He actually hit the aorta, which generally means it's going to be an instant death. Unfortunately, he is not done. He then does what he is believing to be his signature. He posed her in a sexual position. However, this time, he beheaded her and placed the head in a position so she was looking at her own mutilated body.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. As I was doing research on this, a lot of psychologists believe that because she died so quickly from the aorta hit, that he cut off her head to ensure she was actually dead.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. The posing it to stare at her own body, that's...
Yeah.
Beyond... No, that's not okay.
Okay.
It has been almost 48 hours since the attack and murder of Sonja and Christy. Their parents had not been able to get a hold of them, and they actually started to get worried. So they called the police to do a check on them. And at 4 p.m. on August 26th, the police entered their apartment and found the horrifying truth behind their silence. Then, just mere hours later, Christa didn't show up for her shift, which began at midnight. And 2 officers on duty went to her house to check to see if everything was okay. That's how reliable she was. They instantly knew something was wrong that she didn't show up.
I mean, and she also does work at
a sheriff's
office, and so, yeah.
But they came across the horrendous scene. What he did to her was so horrific that the officers who found her still have never forgotten that scene.
I bet not. But I will say, it sucks because they did know her well. At least it was 2 officers who found her and not family members or friends. At least they have a little bit. I mean, they were friends, but at least they have a little bit more professional training to handle that.
Yeah.
Than if it were another college kid or a parent or a sibling or something. You know what I mean? Little silver lining.
Yes.
And also that it was police officers who found the crime scene, so it is not contaminated.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree with them. This is when the news broke throughout Gainesville that 3 students had been butchered, and people started fearing for their lives.
I mean, rightfully so. These are very close together, even though they don't realize, they are closer together than they were to these people, to the cops and stuff. But, that's bam, bam.
I also showed you the map. They were basically on top of each other.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Unfortunately.
You need to start using that word better.
I can't.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like we need to have a discussion about when that word's used.
You know what? We have to have a discussion for you too then.
I only use it when I'm about to drop some stuff on you. You use it in the correct way and in bomb dropping.
I know. I'm kind of doing it as a bomb drop mostly in this one for you.
But I've had to stop using unfortunately where it would normally be used in English and find a different word because I'm all, this is not worth an unfortunately in this episode. This is not worth our unfortunately.
I say it a few more times.
That's fine. I was just saying.
Unfortunately, the killing spree was not over. Just one day later, he spotted his next target. Tracy Paules, who was 23. She was a student at the University of Florida. Tracy was in law school, bright and full of energy. Word had gotten around town at this time about the killings, and there was actually a recording of Tracy saying that she felt uncomfortable being home alone. And if Manny, her roommate, didn't come home soon, she was going to leave. Manuel Taboada, who was also 23 and also a student at the University of Florida. Manny was a burly, 6'2", athletic guy. He was protective and loyal, the kind of guy who would defend his friends no matter what. And that's exactly what he did. Danny broke into the home through the sliding glass door with a screwdriver, K-bar knife in hand. He didn't realize that Manny was at the house. He thought that the house had 1 or 2 women in it.
You were mistaken.
But when Danny checked the bedroom, he noticed Manny there. So he went up and stabbed him. Manny did not die right away. He woke up and fought Danny. Unfortunately, Manny succumbed to his wounds and was not able to fight him off for good. Tracy heard the screams of Manny and the fight that followed, and she locked herself into her room. However, the door was flimsy, and he was able to literally burst through it with no problem. What he did to Tracy is exactly what he's been doing. He taped her up, cut her clothes off, raped her, then he stabbed her 3 times in the back. Then he cleaned up and posed the body. Their bodies were found the next morning. 5 students in 4 days had lost their lives.
That is insane. Like, I can't even imagine how this police department felt trying to get a handle on this when they couldn't even process a crime scene before a new crime scene popped up. Please tell me we have the FBI at this point.
The task force for the Gainesville Police Department immediately identified the similarities in each crime, with the exception of Manny. They were young college females with brunette hair and a small petite build, as well as the manner of death, the posing, and the cleaning of the clothes. Everyone knew they were looking for the same guy for all of these murders. Gainesville went from a buzzing college town to a city paralyzed by fear. Students started sleeping in shifts, pulling mattresses into living rooms, like ringing their doors with pots and pans and fish lines as like makeshift
I love
alarms.
college kids. I'm not gonna lie. I love college kids.
Yeah.
The ingenuity, the creativity. College kids,
Yeah.
they find the most creative way to get shit done.
They figure it
and
out,
I
man.
love it.
Gun sales also spiked overnight,
I bet.
and parents actually rushed back to the campus to bring their kids home.
Oh, 1,000%.
For days, Gainesville was living in pure terror. Nobody knew who was going to be next.
Is this why you tell me that you're not moving to Florida?
That's part of it, girl.
But I don't want to go live in Gainesville.
I don't want to live in Florida in general. The day after the murder of Tracy and Manny, Danny realized, geez, guys, I'm out of money. What should I do? I should have stolen from those kids. Nah. Maybe I should go rob a gas station. No, I can't do that.
A
Too
bank?
small. Too small. I'm going to rob a bank. He then proceeded to commit an armed robbery at the First Union Bank and went back to his tent with his newfound fortune.
Okay, for a second I totally forgot he was living in a tent, and I'm all, why is being out of money such a big deal? I remember now.
Yeah. What do banks do when they get robbed?
They put the ink things in the thing. We learned when Hugo tried to launder his money, literally.
Yeah, they also did that here. So
now he's
that's
covered in ink.
But he still had money, and he still has criminal friends that live on the streets. So he did not stay in his tent all day, and he went out roaming with his other street criminals to get drugs.
Do drug dealers take ink-stained money?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a drug dealer.
I mean, I don't know either. That's why I asked.
I don't know. Maybe?
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
there's money in the bag that's also not ink stained.
Probably as well.
I don't know. A couple of officers saw two men acting a little strange, so they ended up following them into the woods. One of them was Danny.
Okay.
Danny noticed the officers and he fled, but not his drug dealer friend. He was arrested, but as they were searching the camp and like area in the woods, they noticed a bunch of money covered in pink dye, and they knew it was from the robbery. They also found a gun, a ski mask. I didn't say what kind of mask earlier. A screwdriver, underwear that had blood on it, and a sleeping bag that had pubic hair in it. They also collected some audio tapes that had recordings on them. They didn't think anything of it, minus they found the money for the robbery.
Okay.
I'm now going to enter someone into the chat.
The FBI!
Finally. Please enter the FBI into the chat. They were under a microscope to find this killer of all of these barbaric acts.
And quick, because...
So on August 30th, they identified a suspect.
Ooh, is it Dan?
19-year-old Edward Humphrey.
That's not him, guys.
Nope. He lived in the same complex as Tracy and Manny. He also had a lot of mental health issues, and there were reports of him being aggressive to other students. There was also a report that 2 days after the murder of Tracy and Manny, he hit his grandmother. He hit her.
That's a dick move, but it doesn't really equate to these murders.
The police found him drunk as fuck and not on his meds, but Grandma didn't want to press charges. But they didn't want to just release him, so they booked him for disorderly conduct, and they posted his bail at $1 million.
Oh, because it's who they think it's associated with.
Mm-hmm.
But also, did they go after him based on a, early profile from the FBI? Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's also no eyewitnesses.
Yeah, so all we have is a profile to go off of, and we don't really have DNA and other stuff.
And he's being aggressive to
his grandma.
Other students, and it's students who are being attacked.
I mean, I feel like he's more of a person of interest than a suspect, but there's a lot of pressure from parents, the colleges, the media, the public to get somebody, so I understand where we're at.
Mm-hmm. He obviously did not make bail. So they took DNA samples, hoping it would link him to the murders. All of the evidence was actually pointing at him with everything that I've been saying. It was like they were so desperate to solve this case, they didn't bother to look anywhere else. They tunneled on our Eddie boy so hard. Then the media got a hold of it. We know what the media likes to do.
Find everything.
They like to run.
Yeah.
But then the FBI was like, you know what? This kid is actually kind of fucking dumb. I don't think he's smart enough to rob a bank and
get away with all of this.
Or do any of these murders. Yeah.
Because he didn't even get away with hitting his grandma.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they were at a standstill with the evidence and the investigation.
I mean, do they have any DNA?
They have DNA.
They have DNA to compare from the crime scenes? We're just waiting on it because it's the 90s and the shit takes a minute.
All of the women were raped. And there was DNA left behind.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are we just waiting for that match or essentially?
Yeah. So they took his DNA. There is DNA testing.
Yeah. There's DNA testing, but
it's also 1990s.
So it's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
So they're going to hold him until they have the DNA test because they have enough circumstantial and enough timeline and alibi in order to put him there. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, obviously it's enough for a DA to press charges, but I also feel like they needed to put somebody for something somewhere to ease the public. So yes. I feel like they were getting that affidavit no matter what.
I agree completely. Now, while the FBI was fucking around with Eddie Boy, our murderer and bank robber was living his best life.
I bet he was.
He actually stole a car and drove to Tampa. That's where he committed 3 more robberies. On September 2nd, he held up a convenience store. And then 5 days later, on September 7th, he tried to rob a grocery store and actually was holding the manager ransom and demanded that she open the safe. But there were still people in this fucking store, and they noticed what was going on, and the police were called. Fortunately, Danny was not able to escape, and he was taken into custody for armed robbery. Unfortunately, there was no connection between this robbery and everything going on in Gainesville, but he was still in jail.
I was about to ask. I was like, oh, look at you, county hopping. So therefore, we don't have as much of a connect. Like, it's going to take longer to get connected.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's good that it was just a robbery and not another murder. But, man, they would have connected them dots so much faster.
So back in Gainesville, they were still looking for anything. The serial number on the gun he used that was found in his tent was linked to an owner that was in Sarasota, that was actually 3 hours south.
Yeah.
They found the owner and was like, yo, man, what the fuck? What's this about? And he was like, oh, I actually sold that to this dude who was passing through, and he was missing a finger. This sparked something.
I love that the cops would have thought this was such a bullshit story until Homeboy was like, he was missing a finger.
Yeah. So this sparked something. They remembered something from someone they remembered that someone from the bank told them that whoever robbed them was missing part of his finger. That's when one officer stood up and yelled, "Holy shit!" And then he proceeded to tell everyone that at the crime scene of Sonja and Christy, they found a piece of a paper towel that on one side there was an imprint of a man's penis like he was wiping himself, and on the other side was a handprint and was missing a finger.
No shit, I love this cop.
That's when they decided to go back through all of the evidence that they found at the campsite. The ski mask fibers matched fibers that were in the duct tape that was found at the third murder. The pubic hairs that were in the sleeping bag matched Christa Hoyt. The underwear had blood on it, and it was Manny's blood. They also found the screwdriver matched the marks on the sliding glass doors, every single one of them, perfectly. They also decided to finally give those tapes a listen. And I'm going to play a small part of it for you now.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to come back to the tapes because I've been waiting.
I know I'll have to run the rest of my life, but I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself. We're all down here for just a breath anyway. Well, I'm going to sign off for a little bit. I got something I got to do.
Who the fuck is this dude? They were sure that this person has, at this point, either left Florida or has been arrested. So they put out across Florida that all inmates who have been arrested in the last 3 to 4 month period had to submit their DNA.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I like how they went straight for inmates.
And since Danny was, I need to sneak back here. Think about it. He's killed a bunch of people. He's robbed a bank.
Yeah. And he's gone now.
He's probably going to do at
it
least
again.
a robbery again.
But I mean, and he hadn't gotten caught up to this point, but we also haven't been doing this for very long, so he's going to get caught up here soon because he's going very fast. And I can see, because we also have the FBI, but the FBI, I mean, they were right, then they were wrong, but they knew they were wrong.
And since Danny was currently sitting in jail for robbing a grocery store, he had to submit his DNA. The information was sent to the FBI as well as his full profile, which included the information about his missing finger. They ended up running his DNA so fast.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, the DNA matched. They have their man. January 24th, 1991. They brought Danny in for questioning. He was being super weird and just kind of like tapping his leg. He would scratch himself or pick lint off of himself. Weird.
Yeah.
The detectives would show him pictures of the crime scene and he would like turn away and refuse to look at him.
Oh, I like your acting, buddy.
Yeah. Finally, on September 18th, 1991, Danny Rolling was convicted for 3 counts of attempted armed robbery, 2 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, his dad.
Yeah.
And he actually got life in prison for that.
Wait.
So,
I thought we already dealt with the assault on his dad.
no, he dipped before anything happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we have the charges for that. And
So
the
we have the
armed
charges
robberies,
for
but we
the
don't have
armed-
the murders.
We have the armed robberies in Tampa. And then the assault on his dad, because his dad's like, nah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. So we still
I'm
have
sorry.
the bank robbery and the murders.
And the murders,
And
yes.
the gas station robbery.
That was in Tampa.
That was in Tampa?
Mhm.
Okay.
So
He was busy.
He was busy. It's all very confusing. I'm very sorry. Timeline-wise.
No, you've kept it very straight. I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
make
I've
sure
been-
that no, you kept it very well. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure that I had it clear with where we were at.
you're good. You're good. So he got life in prison for the robberies and the assault on his father.
Okay.
But then 2 months later, he was indicted on 5 counts of first-degree murder, and he pled not guilty.
I'm so surprised.
So they are on their way to trial.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute. We skipped a whole trial?
No.
No, we just skipped the stuff for those
The other
charges.
yeah.
Yeah. Got you.
Mhm.
Did he actually go to trial? Like, did we actually go to a full-blown trial?
While we were awaiting for trial, Danny was confessing his crimes to a fellow inmate.
Okay, I was like, wait, he pled not guilty, then he started confessing? I'm so confused.
No. While we were awaiting trial, Danny was confessing his crimes to a fellow inmate. He was writing him notes, very strange notes, the ones I showed you earlier, that had drawings on them, and he was calling himself Dagger Dan. It was so weird to me.
Ew. Gag.
The inmate, of course, told the officers in the prison, and that's when Danny was like, ugh, fine. I have a personality disorder.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I actually have multiple personalities.
No, you don't, Danny.
And I have been dealing with this my entire life.
Okay, Letitia.
God damn. One of them is named Enid. He's the Jesse James type. He actually said all of this on film, too. It's crazy. Okay. The evil one is called Gemini, and he's the one that's responsible for all the murders. Danny didn't do anything. He then proceeded to confess all of the crimes on tape.
As one personality? Like, as Danny?
No, it was Gemini.
Oh.
Danny didn't do anything.
So did we get to, like...
You can find all of these on YouTube. I didn't look that deep. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, you're fine.
Because
There's already a lot,
This
yeah.
is already a lot. We have a lot more to discuss.
It's just because we really enjoyed watching Letitia try to do this, and I always enjoy watching somebody try to do this.
He
I
did
enjoy
not have videos of him changing like that dumb bitch did.
Okay, that's what I was curious. And, like, did he bring out all of his personalities? Because that's always fun to watch when they do that, when they don't actually have DID.
Yeah. Whatever. So at this point, everyone's like, okay, cool. Well, I guess let's just see how this plays out in court. On February 15th, 1994, opening day of trial, they were preparing for Danny to come in and make his insanity plea. But to everyone's surprise, he confessed to the crimes. There were outbursts of many people and others...
Wait, did he just plead guilty or did he, like, confess?
He pled guilty.
Okay.
Because he confessed to all the crimes on tape.
Well, I know, but, like, I didn't know if we just had a monumental case of word vomit, then he wouldn't shut up.
I mean, okay, so he didn't just be like, I'm guilty. Like, he was like, I murdered Sonja, Christa, Christy. Like, he said their names.
He named them?
Yeah. There were many outbursts of many people, and others were shocked and confused on exactly what that meant.
I am shocked and confused and outbursting.
He had changed his plea to guilty on all 5 counts of murder, 3 counts of sexual battery, and 3 counts of armed burglary. March 24th. The jurors unanimously recommended the death penalty.
We still got jurors involved even though he pled guilty? Is it because they were already picked?
Trial was there. It was the first day of trial.
Trial was going to start for first day, and then he came out was like, I plead guilty. And they were like, well, we've still got you here.
Yeah.
So did they, like, read over everything, or they just take his guilty verdict and go from there? Did they get to know, like, what his crimes were?
I don't know.
How do we do that?
I don't know for sure. I'm sure they probably...
Like, let opening...
Had to read... No, I don't think they did, like, a full court
Or
thing.
not even, like, opening and closing, but, like, maybe let the prosecution and defense, like, put their thing out there and then sent the jury back?
Or they were just given all the evidence. I don't actually know for sure.
That's intriguing. I know that we have so much more in here to cover and stuff, but, like...
It's very intriguing.
I want to dive on that outside because we've never had a trial that was supposed to go... I mean,
like,
we
was
have.
literally about to start, and he was like, actually, I plead guilty.
I mean, we have, but it wasn't on the first day of trial, and the jury was no longer involved after that. And we'll talk about that. But...
Well, I think maybe also at this time, because generally when stuff happens like that, the judge decides.
Yes.
So I wonder if they're like, nope, you need to have a jury of your peers to determine if
when
this
it
needs
was.
to be a death penalty or not.
Okay.
So they most likely...
just to determine if the death penalty was up.
Correct.
In this, and then the judge took it from there. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
So, April 20th, 1994, 39-year-old Danny Rolling was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Just after Danny Rolling was sentenced to death, Manuel Taboada, Manny's brother, jumped to his feet and yelled across the courtroom that he, quote, nope, not yet. I'm sorry. He yelled across the courtroom that he would be dead within 5 years. Quote, justice is beyond these walls. After a bailiff was ordered to... there was an end quote after the walls. After a bailiff was ordered to remove him, he said, quote, we have the last say. We will prevail. Remember that first picture I showed you of a guy pointing in a courtroom?
That was him?
That was him. It's also here and will be on all of our socials.
Does he get a dose of Jeffrey Dahmer justice?
No.
No.
This is when his legal team began the process of appeals.
Of course they did.
Which would last 12 years.
Of course they did.
Once on death row, Danny leaned into this strange performative persona. He started calling himself an artist, and he was writing poems and sketching and singing songs he had written.
What the fuck?
He attracted many pen pals, one of whom he eventually got engaged to.
Stop doing that.
That's gross.
Quit. Just, there is no love beyond lockup. Stop.
But through it all, he never showed real remorse. It was like he wanted the world to see him as his tortured soul instead of the monster that he truly is.
No, you're just a monster.
The day before his execution, the last appeal was turned down that night.
Good.
Danny was being the master of surprises, apparently, he ended up making another confession. Quote, I make a formal written statement concerning the murders of Julie, Tom, and Sean Grisham. I, and I alone, am guilty. It was my hand that took those precious lights out of this dark world. End quote. So the 3 murders in
Shreveport?
Thank you. Shreveport, Louisiana, that had gone cold.
Yeah.
He just confessed to.
Right before they're about to lethal
The
inject him.
night before he died.
Which, of course, gave him a stay, didn't it? Because then they needed to go through those crimes.
At 6 p.m. on October 25th, 2006, at Florida State Prison, Danny Rolling was executed by lethal injection.
They didn't give a fuck?
In true Danny fashion, he turned even that into a performance, singing a gospel hymn as his final act. Outside the prison, crowds gathered, some protesting, some praying, and others cheering. Even 16 years later, the wounds from what he did were still raw.
I mean, I'm so glad that they decided to not grant him a stay to go after all those other murders and do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was hoping for. And I'm glad they didn't give it to him. They were just like, oh, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and solve those up now. Cool. But the gospel song, sir, just
Yeah.
quit fucking with these families. Quit fucking with the people. I mean, I see it's just a game for you, but...
So I know I showed you the picture, but I didn't show you what was actually said on the petition. Like the protesters that were outside. One of the signs says, Danny, this is one, you owe us 4 more. Right before he died.
I love Brenda. Good job, Brenda.
We don't know if her name was Brenda, but we hope.
I just like to call people Brenda sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or good job, Denise. I don't know. It was the 90s. It's one of the two.
Probably. When I think about this case, though, I don't want to focus on him. I think about Julie, Tom, Sean, Sonja, Christy, Christa, Tracy, and Manny. People full of hope and potential who never got to live out their dreams. Gainesville still honors the 5 college kids every year with memorials and scholarships.
Oh, I love that.
Their light is what the city chooses to remember, not the man who stole it. And if this story feels familiar to you at all, it's because Danny's crimes partly inspired the Scream movies, just like I said earlier. The chilling idea of a masked killer stalking college students. It all traces back to Gainesville, 1990. There is another reason why this case sounds so familiar. Because decades later, history seemed to repeat itself, almost scene for scene, in another quiet college town. The same sense of safety, the same kind of victims, and the same kind of man lurking in the shadows.
Can I say it?
Nope.
Have y'all guessed?
Huh?
I asked them if they've guessed.
Have you guys guessed who
I
we're
hope
talking about
you've
yet?
guessed.
When you line up Danny Rolling, the Gainesville Ripper, and Brian Kohberger, the man accused of the Idaho student murders, the similarities are impossible to ignore.
When you told me that this is what he copied, I said, no way. Not that I knew very much about this case anyway. I didn't know anything. But I was like, there's no way. They keep comparing him to Ted Bundy and all of his actions and his moves with how he went and watched, how he left, him getting pulled over, and like Jeffrey Dahmer. They've always put him with Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy in his movements. No. And I had never seen this brought up. But this is why my face was doing the things the whole time.
He literally said copy paste.
He did. He said copy paste, but let me sprinkle in the other favorite serial killers of mine. But this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I'm going to talk about this, yeah.
He used this as a map.
Yes, he
This
did.
was his guidebook.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
No.
Me neither. This is the only fucking time I will ever talk about this man in any type of detail on this podcast. Ever.
And we actually never thought we would talk about him.
No. I know we've mentioned him. We've
Because
said his name.
We couldn't, not in the past 2 years.
We will not do a deep dive on
Nope.
the Idaho 4. We won't.
Go to Court TV, go to News Nation, go to Serialously, go to literally any true
streaming
crime
service.
podcast.
You can go to any streaming service also.
I will say though, One Night in Idaho on Hulu,
Yes.
watch that because it has the friends who lived on that street, who came over that day. It has Ethan Chapin's mom. It has a reporter. It has the people who lived it and experienced it and their version. The only version that matters. Their viewpoint. And it is, I cried. I laughed. It is the most beautiful thing done on the Idaho 4. But we ain't gonna do it.
More than 30 years after the murders in Gainesville, in Moscow, Idaho, another college town, another fall semester, and another man with a dark fascination emerged. Brian Kohberger wasn't sleeping in a tent or creeping through trees, but his isolation ran just as deep. He was a criminology student, someone who didn't just wonder how killers thought. He studied them. He analyzed them, admired them, and according to several reports, one of the killers who fascinated him the most was Danny Rolling. It's said that Kohberger studied Rolling's methods, how he stalked victims, how he entered their homes, how he left entire communities paralyzed with fear. Maybe it started as research. Maybe it was academic curiosity. But somewhere along the line, that line between study and obsession blurred. Danny wasn't just a case study. He became a blueprint.
I feel like at some point he, in his research of Danny, went,
I bet I can do this better.
That's exactly what I was about to say before I changed it in my mind too. I can fix your mistakes. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
The screwdriver and as soon as you set the sliding glass door and the cable, the cable already sent it, but
when you look closer, the parallels are chilling. Both targeted college students, both struck in the middle of the night, both used K-bar knives, almost even down to the victims.
Watching them through the window, the two female roommates. The way he killed Ethan because he knew how Danny messed up. I will say the difference is, I think that what he changed was Danny spent too much time in those houses. He was more of an in and out and had the full covering. This down to the mouth covering.
The only part that gets me though, he only did 4. And there were 6 people in that house. Granted, he did not know about them, and there was locked doors.
There's 2 he didn't know about. We just don't know which 2 he wasn't ready for.
Correct.
Was it Ethan and Kaylee? You know what I mean? Like there was... But also, I do believe he got tired. I think that's why he only did 4 instead of 6, because he got tired. He didn't realize how much that was.
Yeah. I don't know. Their crimes weren't impulsive. They were rehearsed. Especially Brian's.
Yes.
Even their behavior afterwards feels eerily connected. Danny wrote songs, talked to strangers, and acted like nothing had happened. Kohberger drove across the country with his father, calm, collected, as if he hadn't just shattered 4 families in a community. It's that detachment, that quiet, chilling calm that makes both of them so unnerving. And then, of course, there's the fucking ego. Danny Rolling wrote poetry and sang songs from death row, trying to reshape himself into a tragic figure. Whereas fucking Brian, in his academic arrogance, thought he could study crime so deeply that he could commit it and get away with it. They both wanted to be seen, to be remembered.
There's also him being Papa Doc online.
They wanted to prove that they were smarter, more powerful, more significant than the world ever gave them credit for.
When in actuality, they're the smallest men who ever lived.
Ugh, you're damn right. Then the fact that he was dragging trial out and ended up pleading guilty just like Danny did.
Yep.
But at least Danny died like a man. Brian is a scared little fucking boy who can't handle the consequences of his own actions.
And we were going to get a firing squad.
Ugh.
We were going to get a firing squad.
I was praying for it. But what they really... Oh, that's the other thing. I don't think I even included this part. The ski mask.
So, did Scream just, like, create their own little masky mask?
Yeah.
And he didn't wear anything like this? Like, he just
wore a
wore, like, a
ski
legit
mask.
ski mask? That's what I thought.
This was a scare factor. This was a scare thing.
Yeah. So, we've learned something this month. We have learned that horror movie writers and directors have more respect for victims and their families than based on true life stories, because they take a headline and then
just
go
run with
with it and have absolutely nothing to do with the real people and stuff, hence this mask being made.
Ghostface being created.
The episode this evening, there's movies off of it that have nothing to do with the actual case.
Which is crazy.
So crazy. And, like,
I'm
we are
so excited.
finding that the more and more that we research that's based off of, like, that has inspired these big horror movies and movements.
Has nothing to do with the actual case.
Or the victims or anything. And it's more so the documentaries and the based on true story movies that are the ones who
I know.
don't care too much for, not documentaries, but some of those movies you're like, oh, okay.
I will say, though, that, like, I'm sorry, you're not a horror movie expert. There are a few, I'm not calling myself an expert in any way, shape, or form, but I've seen plethora more than you. Some of them that are based on true stories do actually follow.
Well, yeah, but
they're not disrespectful about it.
Yeah,
you know?
And usually those ones are, like, based on a true story. But I'm just saying, like, now
like
I know
this
why
kind of situation.
There's not as much of a backlash over the horror movies as there is whenever they start saying based on a true story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then I feel like they have this weird overlap of truth and embellishment that gets blurry. But we found out horror movies don't do that.
Yeah.
Which was interesting and cool.
Yeah.
They follow some of our guidelines in the true crime world, and I like this.
Like, Scream is based on a person stalking and coming through and killing college kids.
Yeah. So,
which is essentially exactly what this headline was.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just something very interesting that we have discussed a lot in the past month and a half that we've noticed in researching these renowned backstories.
Yes. Yeah.
Fun fact.
But what they really proved was something completely different, something else entirely. That evil doesn't need a mask or a movie script. It can come in the form of a man in the woods with a knife, or a quiet grad student who spends too much time understanding the monsters he secretly identifies with. Brian Kohberger didn't just study killers like Danny Rolling. In many ways, he became him.
And I've always wondered when we were going to get one that had a copycat.
We got it.
Like, you know, some of the ones that we talk about are the bigger ones, and then we've never really gotten a legit copycat on them.
This is literally
a legit copycat, and I love how I knew the references of Brian Kohberger being compared to certain acts or things that Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer did. I'm talking about their behavior and how they acted while committing their crimes and after the commission of their crimes. But I've never, ever, ever heard the relation to Danny Rolling or Danny Rolling's name being brought up. Court TV, News Nation, any of them.
Which is crazy.
Not once do I
Which is
hear him,
fucking
because I would have
crazy.
asked you who he is. I would have Googled him, and I would have known about this. But I heard Ted Bundy and I heard Jeffrey Dahmer constantly.
I wonder, because Danny is a very well-known serial killer, but he is not as known as Dahmer and Bundy.
And I don't understand why not. When you said the Gainesville Ripper, for some reason, that, like, that triggered something in my head, but I couldn't pin it. I couldn't tell you who it was or what it was or when it was, but, like, that kind of triggered something in me. So it's really weird who gets picked to be,
and for all we know,
well known and who isn't.
I agree. And for all we know, though, some of these people comparing him to Dahmer and Bundy are using those names to get views.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm talking like the police comparisons that like Court TV would be discussing or News Nation would be discussing about how like they're going through stuff and like they would be like him getting pulled over and the other stuff, and they just always compared it laterally there.
That's fair.
But he never came up.
Copy and paste. Minus all the robberies.
As soon as you said K-bar,
yes,
I was like, are you kidding me? And then you went to the screwdriver with the sliding glass door, and I just...
Yeah, I know.
And his movements inside the house, I could almost see that layout of that house, that digital rendering we were all watching. Mm-hmm. It's like I was watching that walkthrough again.
Yeah.
When you told me that there was this connection, I was like, okay, cool. We have like a similarity because it's college kids. Holy shit. Okay, my soapbox is done. I really you had a long time to wrap your head around that.
I'm so mad about this. Like,
I'm so mad.
Because, like, before I started researching, like, obviously I know Danny Rolling, but I didn't get into details. And then as soon as I read K-Bar, I'm like, you're fucking lying. You're lying. And then I just kept going and going.
It's a parallel case.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this is I have never heard somebody with just day after day after day. I mean, that was quick.
And
there wasn't even an evolution.
No, I think it's truly because the first one, they weren't found for 48 hours. The next one was found the same day that they were. But then, like, that was still, oh, hey, 3 kids are dead.
Yeah.
Not saying whoop-de-doo, but kind of whoop-de-doo. To then, oh, let me do these last ones. And now it's too big. He had to leave. I don't know.
It's crazy. I was not ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah. So, did we get justice?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we
absolutely got justice for this. But this episode, as well as most famous serial killer cases, the victims get overshadowed, just like here, just like in Richard Chase, just like in Hugo Zielinski. I feel like, again, these people are so fascinated by serial killers that all they want to talk about is that person. I tried to find more information on our victims, and it's so hard.
It is so hard to find information on victims of major cases because it is so overshadowed. You can Google it 80 freaking different ways.
Yeah.
Half the time I have to use that AI guide feature on Google and ask it specific questions so that it will pull me out that article I need.
Yeah.
And even then, I sometimes can't get there.
Yeah.
It needs to change. I don't know what in Google's algorithm needs to change. I don't know what in articles needs to change.
I don't even
reporting.
know. I don't know if I can even say Google. Like, granted, yes, these happened over 30 years ago, going on 40 years. But, like, And then we have our older cases. And again, most serial killer cases were in the 70s, 80s, 90s when we don't have a lot of pictures that have been digitized
Yeah.
and put on the internet. So, like, it's difficult. But at the same time, I barely know anything about these poor college kids or any of the victims. And it's just sad. So,
So kind of like in our Jody and Kathy case, if you went to college with any of these people,
or even the family, the Grisham family in
Shreveport,
we want to know about these
we
people.
do.
Like, I have a little bit of information, but I want to know what their favorite color was, what their favorite song was,
what sport did they play in high school, what was their favorite thing to do, what was their favorite flavor of ice cream,
anything, literally.
Did they like hot chocolate or apple cider? Just anything. They deserve to be remembered in their lives and their families. Yeah. And I will say that Jody and Kathy are two victims that we knew the absolute least about, and I had to go off of archived newspaper articles. That episode is the most messaged about episode that we get from people who knew Kathy or Jody, either went to college, lived in that town,
grew up together.
Yep, all of it. And every single one of them gives us a new piece of Jody or Kathy.
Yes.
And we love that. Please don't stop doing that. So if you knew any of these victims and you have more to tell us, we would love it, because guess what? We'll write a whole post about them.
Absolutely.
We'll put out a little YouTube short. We will add it to this video. We want their story to be known, and we want their story to be louder than his story.
Yes. I hate not being victim forward. Like, we're very much advocates, and not being able to do that hurts me. Like, it hurts my heart. And I would love to be able to share who they were and any other legacy that they may have.
Which is why you don't get very many serial killer episodes out of us.
Correct.
We are almost to 100 episodes, and I believe we have 3 serial killers and a budding serial killer.
Yes.
And that's it. And almost 100 episodes. Hugo was found on accident. We never would have done it if we wouldn't have known. And these other 2 came out of Halloween. I mean, Halloween, I have a feeling, is where those episodes are going to come out, because they all got turned into movies and everything else. And But also, if you guys would like the occasional deep dive on a serial killer, let us know. We will make a bonus episode. We will have, not Brian Kohberger, nothing that has been done over and over and everybody knows. So
there's only one other serial killer that we want to touch on. Was he not considered a serial killer? The Buckets.
Oh, yes. Never mind. You'll learn about him one day. That one is, we know so much about the victims.
Yes. So that one is going to be very different.
Yes.
Compared to these.
But when we started this, we were very adamant about only victims, which is why we are Justice For and our victims' names, because we want that to be the loudest thing. You don't see clickbait titles on us, because we're going to tell you who we're talking about.
Our producer asked us multiple times, like, for these kind of episodes, we're like, oh, how do you want to name this episode? And we're just like, oh, I don't know.
We have to think on it.
We don't want to put their fucking names out there more.
No.
You know?
So
we are victim advocacy forward.
Yes. So please know that if you do see an episode about a killer, it's because it's the only way that we could do it.
Yes. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
You already know what's happening tonight. If you are coming, I'm so excited.
Please be coming. Just go get your ticket and come and see it anyway. Even if it's
still
like
tickets.
Yeah, if there's still tickets.
If there's still tickets.
They're going quick.
They are. They've added more seats specifically because of how quick.
Also, if you go to log on to get a ticket and they're sold out, shoot us a message today and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yes. With that, please go like, follow, subscribe, all of our socials, and leave us some reviews. I already did this earlier, so I'm not going to touch on it too much.
Buy some merch.
Free shipping.
Smash all the buttons. Like,
Yes.
follow, share, subscribe, comment, review. I mean, let more people see our faces. They're beautiful.
The only thing I will touch on a little bit more in depth, please go to our website if you are looking for any type of resource. We have everything under the sun you can think of. If for some reason you don't want to call any of those resources or reach out to anyone, but you want to talk to someone, message us.
Yep. Reach out to us and we'll try to help you find what you need.
Also, if you want to submit a case, you can do that on our website at justiceforpodcast.com, and we got you.
Yep. Links for tickets will be in the description. It's also on our website and all of our socials.
Yes. Let's finish this out.
All right.
Let's finish this out. Real life doesn't fade when the credits roll. There's no final girl, no safe ending, just a community still healing and families still missing the people they love. In the end, Danny Rolling's story forces you to ask questions. Jury, was he made by his environment, or was he always destined to become the evil person he was? Maybe it's both. But what's certain is that for 4 days in August of 1990, one man's rage consumed an entire town and left a legacy of fear that still echoes today. Sometimes the most terrifying horror stories don't come from Hollywood. They come from real life.
That's so fucking true. Nailed it.
That's all we have for you guys today. We hope you have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. We cannot wait to see some of you tonight. It's going to be so amazing.
It is. And have a fun and safe Halloween.
Yes.
Keep them pixie sticks stapled tight.
He restapled them, Jackie.
Don't eat pixie sticks if they're stapled. Don't let your kids go trick-or-treating alone.
Yeah.
And lock your damn doors.
And don't leave your friends.
Yeah. If you live by our golden rules, you'll live.
That's how we're alive. Somehow.
Magically.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Anyway, we will catch you guys
Tonight.
Are we doing an episode next week?
I don't know yet.
Then I
We
won't
may
say
or may
anything.
not be with you next week. We are moving our studio.
Yep.
So
We have,
if there's no episode next week, just beware. It'll come out the next week.
we have some lifing right now. But we
Yes.
are moving our studio. We are getting some things set up. It's going to be awesome. So peep some behind the scenes of that. Hopefully you're checking out all of the updates we're having about things going on in the world all over our socials.
Yes.
We don't know if we'll have an episode or not next week. If we do, we will see you then. If not, we'll see you soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Go watch all of our TikToks if you miss us.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. We'll see some of you tonight. Wear your merch. We'll see
Wear
you
it.
guys later. Okay. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.